Welcome back. You're still tuned to Business Review on SABC News International. Now, we're discussing the African Leadership Academy, and the founding team of the Academy built a powerful network of advisors and developed a robust, sustainable operating model for the Academy, a world-class Pan-African secondary institution on the outskirts of Johannesburg, South Africa. My guest is Chris Bradford, who is the co-founder at the African Leadership Academy. And just before the break, we're talking about some of the initiatives that they have in sustaining the Academy. And he made mentions of camps and conferences, and maybe I'd like to delve even further with regards to that. Chris, with regards to the camps, what is your curriculum and what are your objectives, and have you achieved them, if any?
So our objective is to prepare leaders who can transform the continent in a wide range of sectors. That has two components. One component is preparing students with a learning mindset and the academic skills that they need to move on to university or higher learning. The other component is a really unique curriculum at African Leadership Academy in leadership, entrepreneurship, and African studies. We focus on these three topics. African studies prepares our students with an understanding of the context in which they'll be working, and an understanding of the different cultures across the continent. The geography of the continent, the history of the continent. And then we overlay that with entrepreneurship and leadership, which helps students understand first how to design innovative solutions to challenging problems, to address real human needs, and then how to implement those solutions and mobilize people and mobilize resources to create change. So
what you're saying is that entrepreneurs can be bought, or rather born, yet they can be developed.
Oh, I believe that there are certain traits that we may be born with, but ultimately leaders and entrepreneurs are developed, and they're developed through sometimes classroom learning, but they're also developed through practice.
I remember recently we had a discussion with some people, and they were saying that with regards to Nelson Mandela, that is he a born leader or is he a developed leader? And also looking at Barack Obama to say that is he a born or developed? And whilst you're making mention of that, I'd agree with you that leaders are developed, because if you look at Nelson Mandela's background, it's that he came from a chiefdom family, and therefore if you read his book Long Walk to Freedom, you even have a clearer understanding that he would sit in some of these meetings and learn how to chair, how to lead from behind. And even Barack Obama, from his background, and how has he learned? I mean, you spoke about social entrepreneurship, that you'd want to make a change in your own societies. I don't know if you would agree with some of the views that we had shared in our discussion.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And to further your points on Nelson Mandela and Barack Obama, when you read Long Walk to Freedom, one of the things that really stands out for me is the role Nelson Mandela played as a leader in his own secondary school, right? As a prefect of his school, and he had to practice leadership. So if
Nelson Mandela was a youth of the 2009, he probably would have become a student at the African Leadership Academy.
I certainly hope he would have applied. And then in Barack Obama's case, you see him practicing leadership. I mean, a great example there is his work at the Harvard Law Review, where he had to publish a world-renowned law journal, and he had to bring together writers who were from very different political backgrounds, right, in creating this coherent publication. And I think those, for both of them, were initial attempts to practice leadership, which they continue to practice throughout their life, and have culminated in the roles in which they've played in society today.
Now, how do the students in the institution practice what they've been taught, such as the ethics and the importance of being a good future business leader? Great
question. And you can probably guess from what I was just saying that it's exactly that. It's practice. We need our students to practice the leadership skills, the entrepreneurial skills.
Which means listening, being able to interpret what other people are saying correctly. What do you make of what Dale Carnegie says in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, that it's important as a leader to remember people's names?
I think that's probably important indeed, and I wish I was better at remembering names myself. It's certainly something that I've learned is important. I think there are many things that are important for leadership, and thus it's important that our students begin practicing them. And so we create these modules or labs around different skills, but then they have to put those skills in practice through what we call a culminating project. So a culminating project could be a culminating service project in which a student identifies a need in a community setting that they go out and address, or it could be a student-run business in which they identify a profit-making opportunity on our campus, and they go off and build that business and report to a real board of directors, just as they would as a corporate entrepreneur. The idea is getting people out and practicing leadership. And the examples of the practice of leadership on campus have been really fulfilling for me as one of the founders of the institution. We have student-run businesses that include a student-run cafe, a laundry service, a tuck shop, a beauty salon, and we have service projects such as a literacy project at Mtangeni Community Center in Zanspruit Informal Settlement, which is near our campus. We also have a biogas digester that's being built to heat a local primary school.
So they're already getting into energy affairs.
Exactly. And the point is to practice, because when they leave the academy, they will go out into the world with this experience that grounds them and serves as a source of strength when they face their next leadership challenge. Just as I imagine that the leadership challenges in his secondary school prepared Nelson Mandela for the challenges he would face later when he was starting the ANC Youth League.
Chris Bradford, I gotta thank you for being our guest on Business Review.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's where we leave it for today. In case you thought that Africa does not have potential in terms of rising from some of its ashes with the challenges it has, well, there are initiatives in addressing the leadership challenges, if there are any. Now, you can email us with regards to your take on that. It's businessreview@sabc.co.za. Till next time, enjoy the rest of your viewing on SABC News International. Goodbye.